easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your motorcycle, RV, boat, ATV, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at Progressive.com. That's Progressive.com.
Welcome to the Fletch Zone.
Well, don't keep us in suspense any longer. Show us what you got.
Well, the madness of the NFL season continues.
68 yards away. It's up there. It's out there. And it's good. It's good for 68. J.J. McCarthy with another rushing touchdown this season. And the Vikings have a 23-14 lead. McCaffrey's wide open. Left flat. The pass floats in. He pulls it in along the left pylon for a 49ers touchdown.
Pass rush coming. Mahomes retreating. Heaves it down the field. And it's knocked down and incomplete as the Bills escape with a 28-21 victory.
It was another statement for the Aztecs.
And it is a gift to Sutton. He breaks free. There he goes. Down the near side. Sutton scores. Aztecs running away from Wyoming.
SDFC comes so close.
Portland wins the penalty kick shootout 3-2. They win the match, and there will be a decisive winner-take-all game 3.
Plus, they did it again.
Betts has it. Steps on the bag. The throw to first. Double play from Beck.
Oh, do we have to talk about this? I'm sick of it.
We break down a wild weekend right now in the Fletch Zone.
Where to begin on a Monday, one of the busier sports weekends we've had in a very long time. It's San Diego Sports 760. What's going on, everybody? Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you till 2 o'clock today. John and Jim will take over then. And Sammy, we got a busy one for everybody. We got pairs of tickets to give away for San Diego State and Long Beach basketball tomorrow night from Viejas Arena. College basketball season is back. We're ready to get fired up and going. We also are going to have an announcement coming up very shortly about another special ticket giveaway we're going to be doing all week here on San Diego Sports 760. So keep listening for that. It has to do with something in San Diego in the postseason. I'm sure you know what we're talking about, but we'll get to that in just a little bit. We also had a wild week of NFL games. The Cincinnati Bengals just refused to play an ounce of defense. The Kansas City Chiefs fall to the Buffalo Bills in regular season play once again. What is that Mahomes record against the Bills in the regular season?
It's 5-1.
That's the other way around.
Or yeah, 1-5. I mean,
1-5 for Mahomes against the Bills in the regular season. We'll see what they can do maybe between now and tomorrow around this time, so the Bills can make sure it happens in the postseason this year. But we are going to start with the World Series. The numbers point out why we should start with the World Series. That was the highest rated Game 7 since 2017. The Dodgers are repeat champs. That's the first time anyone has done that in baseball since the 98, 99, 2000 Yankees. The Dodgers have kind of cemented a little bit of a dynasty here. And as gross as that feels to say, on a day here where the Dodgers are once again the winners and Yamamoto has this Herculean effort, which was absolutely deserving of a World Series MVP, it's one of the more impressive things going in sports right now. And it feels disgusting coming out of my mouth. I resonate big time with big voice guys saying, oh, do we really have to talk about this? But Colin Cowherd actually said something really interesting about the World Series. And about people who, like myself, have said at times, the Dodgers are sort of ruining baseball. I still think that's the case, but it is a little bit of envy, isn't it? And it's a hard look in the mirror when you realize that about yourself. But everything we complain about the Dodgers, it's not for anything other than the fact that they're just doing it better than everyone else. And they've got back-to-back World Series to prove it. They're spending the cash, sure. But was Rojas the guy they spent a bunch of cash on?
Right.
The answer is no. They develop people way better than anyone also. And there were tons of moments in that World Series where it could have flipped easily to the Blue Jays. Hell, maybe it should have flipped easily to the Blue Jays. Whether it was a ball stuck in the outfield fence or a millimeter of a toe that didn't touch home plate in time. There were so many moments. But what has Mike Shildt said all season long with the Padres? You win on the margins. And guess what the Dodgers did for this entire series? They won on the margins. So as gross as it is to say, that's the best thing going in baseball right now. The numbers prove it out. Whether you were hate watching them, whether you were watching them because you love them, the Dodgers are the best thing going in baseball.
It's hard to say they're ruining baseball when they draw the biggest ratings in baseball. Like, unfortunately, that's just it's the truth. And listen, a lot goes into it. I thought you kind of highlighted it. You know, I get it. Everyone wants a parade down here and want the Padres to be playing meaningful baseball, but it just the ruining baseball take is it just feels a little old. It's like, yeah, the Dodgers are fine with everyone saying that and keep winning World Series. Miguel Rojas makes no money. Andy Paez with the catch of a lifetime makes no money. Kike Hernandez in Game 6 makes no money with the big play at the out at second base. It's just like, yes, are they able to purchase guys and have a big payroll? And is there an unfair advantage? Of course, there should be a salary cap in baseball, just like how there should be a salary floor. I think it's hard pressed to find someone saying there shouldn't be a salary cap in baseball, but I mean, you got to tip your hats to the Dodgers. They find ways to win when they're left for dead, whether that was against the Padres when they were up down 2-1, where they were down 3-2 in that series, and it looked like they were lifeless and the bats were done. I mean, it's Toronto. If you're a Toronto Blue Jays fan, I don't know how you're dealing with this, because you are
one of the more heartbreaking losses of any series I've ever seen.
You are 5 outs away from winning a World Series. They're talking, Joe Davis and Schmaltz are talking about how the city hasn't won in 30 years. They're basically getting the parade ready.
You were less than an inch away also on sliding in at home plate.
I mean, think about all the times the game changed. Not only did you give up the solo home run to Muncy hanging a slider, then Miguel Rojas, who does not have power, who people destroyed Dave Roberts for leaving in the lineup, hits a home run. Then you have opportunities. To your point, the play at home, the Andy Paez catch, Vladimir Guerrero hits it to the track almost out to win it on a walk-off. I mean, it was just, take a side, Dodgers, like them, hate them, whatever. That was one of the craziest World Series games I've ever watched in my life.
It was cinematic, man. I'll give it that. Baseball can get romantic. It could get movie-sized, if you want to say. Like, that was a bit of a movie, that entire World Series. Whether it was the 18-inning game or the extra innings finale in Game 7, it was absolute chaos, and that was a hell of a series for us to go out on with this baseball season. And now, what do we get to do today? Well, we wake up to news that the Padres team has fallen in shambles, and that kind of hurts to see. But John Heyman has reports out there. It looks like Michael King and Robert Suarez both are declining their options. AJ Preller still hasn't got an extension. There still isn't a manager. Man, baseball is funny right now. We got a ton to get to on the show today. It feels like forever, by the way, since that Game 7 between the Dodgers and the Blue Jays. There was a full NFL Sunday in between. The Aztecs game was fantastic. We'll get to that as well. And yeah, SDFC falling somehow, man. All the momentum in the world was with them, and then they fall in PKs. Kind of a brutal ending in there, but they'll be back this Sunday in San Diego to try to get the job done. With all that said, Sammy, let's get to the big three, where Sammy runs through the top stories in the world of sports. Sammy, smash it.
Your lunch break is here. Ready to go back to the office and knock the socks off your friends? I mean, coworkers? It's time for the top stories of the day. The Big Three.
All right, a few ways for you to interact with the show. First and foremost, the talkback mic. You are going to need it for this week. I'll just tell you that right now. The talkback mic is going to be crucial for you to win the hottest tickets in town. So stay tuned for that.
We want to hear from you on the talkback mic.
You open up the free iHeartRadio app. You search San Diego Sports 760. While you're listening to the station, there's a little red microphone icon up in the top right-hand corner of the screen. You tap that button. You can leave us a 30-second talkback or like a voicemail. It'll go straight to Sammy's computer, and we can play it back on air, and you're going to be entered in to win a very special prize as well. But if you want to watch the show, a couple ways for you to do it. On X, at Fletch and Sammy. YouTube, at San Diego Sports 760. Sammy, where are we going?
All right, we'll start with it. Bills beat the Chiefs Sunday afternoon, 28-21.
Really? That happened? What?
Yeah, it happened. Have the Bills established themselves as the cream of the crop in the AFC or the NFL?
Tough to say. Sammy, you like to point out all the time, rightfully so, that the Bills have an excellent record against the Kansas City Chiefs in the regular season. And it's absolutely the truth. And part of that is because the Chiefs play more postseason games than anyone. They got a little more experience under their belts. They know how to win in big games. Oh, and by the way, Andy Reid might be the best head coach we've ever seen, potentially. So there's a lot that goes into the fact that the Chiefs do beat the Bills in the postseason every single year. And the Bills are kind of that team that have been the regular season juggernauts. I don't think the Bills are the best team in the AFC as of right now, because they had so many opportunities to completely stomp the Chiefs out yesterday, and they really didn't take any of them. By the way, we all watched you give up a 4th and 17 where Joey Bosa seemed to give up on the play.
That was unbelievable.
Unbelievable. So I'm watching that team, and I'm like, oh, the Chiefs kind of had an off night. They had an off day. They're not that much worse than the Bills. And I don't think they're worse than the Bills at all. In fact, I actually think the Chiefs are the better team as of right now. The Bills do have an opportunity to go out and be major players tomorrow before 1 o'clock. They have an opportunity to go out and really add to this team, maybe get another skill position guy, open up this offense a little more, because they're right there. They're in the conversation for best team in the AFC, but it's hard to put them there right now.
I think if you're the Bills, I would be calling the Saints for Chris Olave. I would be calling the Dolphins about Jalen Waddle. I think you need a number one receiver, and starting with the Chiefs. Okay, that game came down to a lot of different plays. I thought the play calling in big moments was bad on sides of the Chiefs. The 4th and 3, calling that timeout, running Rashee Rice right over the middle, I thought was just a terrible play call. They were credit to the Bills. The defense was getting after Patrick Mahomes all day, and they were jumping those routes. That game really changed when it got down to the 1-yard line and the Chiefs settled for a field goal, and they should have gotten in for a touchdown. That was a big loss for the Chiefs. It was a big momentum swing in the game that they were able to go into half and hold them there. They were sloppy. I thought and I want to make this clear, the Chiefs did not lose because of the refs. The Chiefs lost because they lost the game, and the Bills were the better team yesterday. I thought the intentional grounding call at the 3rd and 6 that backed them to 3rd and 16.
Oh no, did plays not go the Chiefs' way from the refs?
And then they get sacked. In terms of punting position was a very big deal, because they throw the flag, or they don't call the flag, they throw the flag, then they take it back. Kind of crazy. But and then the Chiefs offensive line was bad at the end of the day. I mean, you can't miss 3 starters and expect to go on the road and win that game. The Bills were the better team. They had an excellent completion percentage, 23 of 26. Josh Allen was carving up the defense. I thought Steve Spagnuolo actually rarely does this. Did not have a very good game. He did not blitz Josh Allen enough. Josh Allen had all day back there to do whatever he wanted to. So shout out to the Bills. I got to give them credit when I dog them. They beat my guys yesterday, but they do win the Josh Allen Invitational in the regular season every year.
I'll be honest. Here is the worry for the Kansas City Chiefs. You look at the AFC East, Patriots at 7-2, Bills at 6-2. So that's 2 teams who we think are going to the playoffs for sure. AFC North probably going to be 1 team, maybe 2 if the Steelers and if the Ravens really start to pick it up. But AFC South, Jacksonville has 5 wins. Indianapolis has 7 wins. AFC West, Broncos have 7 wins. Chargers have 6 wins. Chiefs sitting with 5 wins. They in danger of missing the postseason altogether.
Well, they play Denver twice. They play the Chargers again.
Denver's the best 4th quarter team in football.
Tiebreaker against the Ravens. So, no, I would. They play the Colts.
Denver's the best 4th quarter team in football. You think 2 games against them, that might hurt you, Sammy?
Do you think they're going to sweep the Chiefs?
Just
right now, do you think they're going to sweep the Chiefs?
No, I don't. But they are the best 4th quarter team in football.
The
Broncos are so confusing to me, by the way.
Yeah, we're gonna get to them here in a little bit. Let's go to the Padres real quick, though. Robert Suarez opting out, Michael King opting out. Reaction to these opt-outs. Should the Padres be making a big push to sign them, or are they going to do the typical Padre thing where they just let good talent walk out the door?
Let's brainstorm something here real quick, Sammy. Say you and I both had contracts that were coming to a close here at the end of the year, but we did have an option to trigger a couple more years in our contract, or we had the option to walk and test free agency. And we found out that not only is our boss's boss only signed to 1 more year and entering into a season that we would call a lame duck contract, but our direct boss just retired out of nowhere, and they're kind of kicking the rock on hiring the next guy. We would probably not be accepting our options either. The Padres players right now, who A, Michael King can go make a lot more money elsewhere, and B, Robert Suarez is going to be the top reliever on the market most likely this offseason. He can get paid elsewhere as well. But those decisions become much easier made when your general manager, AJ Preller, is potentially going into an expiring deal. We haven't really heard anything on that front. We don't know how involved he is in conversations. And B, you still don't have a manager hired. What the hell are you doing? It is baffling to me that they have not made a hire.
It's insane that they've been sitting on their hands this long. They keep interviewing Albert Pujols. Whatever you think about that, I mean, it's
for 9.5 hours at a time.
For 9, it's a mess. And then of course the PR release: Fernando Tatis wins a Gold Glove.
Hey, don't worry. They teased at the new City Connect hats, Sammy. I don't know if you saw that.
Hey, you know what? They got a new hot dog stand coming in. Going to be a real big deal next year.
Hang on. What are we talking about with the hot dogs, Sammy? Because that could be a game changer for me, if we're being honest.
I mean,
it's changed my tune real quick. Were you putting toppings on the hot dogs?
It's frustrating for San Diego when 2 hours north right now they're having a parade. And
is that going on today? Is it right now?
It's right now. They're going crazy in LA. 570's got the coverage. It's I mean, you're sitting there going, hopefully one day for San Diego, we're all late to work today because the gas lamp is shut down because there's a World Series title. And it just feels like they're sitting on their hands, They're not doing anything. You're watching your all-star closer probably walk out the door with all implications. Oh, and Michael King, one of the few starting pitchers who actually gives you something on a typical basis. It's just, listen, maybe they re-sign him. I don't know what the Padres are doing. It's kind of baffling that they have not put a manager in place. There's been no PR, but hey, they got new vendors coming in next year, so great.
Dude, it is we watch the local news when we're doing our KGB morning show, Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. So we had, I think it was KUSI we had on this morning, and KUSI had a package running, and it was the new teaser for the new City Connect jerseys, and it's like Halloween colors. I didn't really get it. The hat looked pretty cool, I'll be honest. But the very first thing I said when TD pointed up at the TV, it was like, "Oh, is that the new City Connect colors?" And I was like, "Yeah, it looks like it. Looks like they're teasing it." And then I said, "Wait, why the hell are we talking about new City Connect colors when they don't have a manager?"
Right? Why is that the PR? Why is that the press release? Remember when they lost Roki Sasaki and they're like, "Hey, we sold out tickets."
Right.
Go sign someone. Go do something.
By the way, Roki Sasaki looked really good in Game 6.
Yeah, he got kind of roughed up a little bit. All right, story number 3. Colts get dismantled in Pittsburgh, kind of come back there a little bit at the end, make the score more respectable. Do you think they're frauds, Fletch?
Dude, Daniel Jones, where was cool, calm, collected Indiana Jones we've seen all year? He had happy feet in the pocket. He was getting rushed by everybody. The Steelers' defensive line looked like they took a lot of the chatter over the last week personally. TJ Watt was a man possessed. The Steelers' D-line played an amazing football game. But you kind of look at the Colts like, oh, there's the weakness. If you get crazy pressure on Daniel Jones, he turns back into Daniel Jones.
So what you said, it felt like the Steelers heard about how terrible they were and embarrassing, which they had been for a while. So got to give the Steelers a lot of credit. I feel like they were sitting on that game. It is something different when the Colts, like when everything's in motion, you're up on people by 2 touchdowns in the first quarter.
Shane Steichen gets to sit back and kind of do whatever he wants.
It looks great. But you saw what happened when the Steelers got after a little bit in that you had to go to the B, C, and D game plan. Listen, I'm not saying they're frauds. I just never bought, and I don't think Fletch did either, that they were ever the best team in the AFC.
No, not the best team in the AFC. Now, I will say, if they start the game with a lead, they're going to be tough to catch. But this is a little bit of like what the Ravens have been with Lamar Jackson. It's like when they get a lead and they're out in front, they can play front runners. They can play to their strengths, which is O-line and Jonathan Taylor. They're fine. That O-line is built really, really nicely for the run game. But I think we saw some serious weaknesses in pass protection.
Secondary got a problem, too.
Secondary's got a problem, too. So, I'm looking at the Colts like, oh, well, there's the game plan to beat him. Just get after Daniel Jones, and he makes bad decisions. All right, coming up next, huge weekend locally in the world of sports. We'll talk some SDSU, talk some SDFC on the other side, plus let you know what you're playing for here this week on San Diego Sports 760. You're listening live on the iHeartRadio app. Man, Saturday was one of the busiest sports days we've had in a long time. Before I tell you some very, very good news for you, how about some more good news? Because we got 13 chances today for you to win 1,000 buckaroos every hour from 6 a.m. through 6 p.m. Listen for the keyword, then enter it at sportssd.com. Your next chance to win $1,000 coming up at 1 o'clock. My name is Ben Fletcher. That's Sammy Long. We're with you till 2 o'clock today. John and Jim will take over right after we get off the air. And immediately following John and Jim, it's going to be Cowboys, Cardinals. We got Monday Night Football this week here on 760. This is very, very cool. So Saturday, while San Diego State was playing, SDFC was playing, the World Series was going on. I was actually sitting right here. I had 4 TVs going. It was great. I was in sports heaven. But also what happened on Saturday night was SDFC fell to the Portland Timbers in kind of a bizarre game. Like, man, Portland scores right away. And then right before halftime, Pellegrino gets the goal. Right after halftime, Chucky Lozano gets the goal in his return. And then Portland scores at the very end of the game. And then it goes to PKs, 2-2 tie. PKs go the way of Portland. What that sets up, and it's an unfortunate loss because you felt like SDFC was ready to slam the door shut and have a nice little 3-week break before they started the next round of the postseason. But what it sets up is a decisive game 3 here in San Diego this Sunday. Sammy, we have just been alerted that we have a pair of tickets to give away for that match at Snapdragon Stadium. So the way we're going to do this on both this show and John and Jim is we're going to make you work for it a little bit. So if you want to go this Sunday for SDFC's decisive game 3 postseason match in this inaugural season against the Portland Timbers, we're going to make you use the talkback mic. So you open up the free iHeartRadio app, you search San Diego Sports 760. While you're listening to the station, there's a little red microphone icon in the corner. You tap that. You say, "Hi, my name is Joe and I live in Mission Valley," or substitute your name and where you live. And we're going to compile those all week long. And then on Friday, we will be picking a winner for this contest. And that winner will get a pair of tickets to go to SDFC versus Portland game 3.
Hell yeah. We're going to need it loud and proud there.
So I don't know. I'm setting the over under at what, 1 million talkbacks, Sammy? Does that?
Oh yeah. It's going to be
fair?
like so many to sort through.
So load up the talkback mic, get it started today. There's no limit on how many you can leave, by the way. So if you just want to spend every waking minute of your life between now and Friday using the iHeartRadio app to leave talkbacks, you got a pretty good shot to win this prize. We're going to throw all the names into a hat. We're going to pick a name. That's going to be our winner.
Hell yeah.
So leave as many talkbacks as you possibly can. And we'll talk to you on Friday. All right, while that game was going on, San Diego State was getting another win. 7-1 on the year right now. 7 wins already. Essentially locks you up a bowl game. They obviously have some bigger aspirations than that. Tulane losing this week helps you out a lot when it comes to being the top non-power conference champion. Now, San Diego State has a lot out in front of them here. None bigger than what's coming up this weekend. Man, oh man, a Hawaii trip right now at 7-1 feels terrifying to me. I talked to Trey White right after the game. Trey had a couple of sacks in Saturday's game. And I was trying to sneak in a stupid question. And I asked him if he likes poke because he's going to Hawaii. And
how did he respond to that?
He said, I mean, to be honest, I don't like poke, but also it's a business trip. We're going there to win another football game, get to 8-1. And then the following week you have Boise State. That Boise State, San Diego State could legitimately be one of the biggest games in the country.
Oh yeah. That's gonna be a bit interesting, really big game nationally.
It could be huge. It could be the biggest game in the country that week. All that goes away if you don't beat Hawaii on the road this weekend.
The one thing I will say that gives me a little more hope, because Hawaii is the ultimate trap game. No team wants to go out there. It's a long ass flight, and you're playing a team that historically has not been very good at football. It's your body clock's all wrong.
It's going to be 8 p.m. here. So that's how Aztec players are going to feel. They're going to feel like it's an 8 p.m. kickoff.
At least it's that versus way in the morning, especially some of these like Big Ten schools that travel to the East Coast. Their 9 a.m. kickoff. It's like supposed to be 6 a.m. But the one thing you say about like watching that Wyoming game, Wyoming comes out. We were talking about this as a potential trap game kind of before these 2 weeks, Wyoming and Hawaii. Wyoming comes out 7-0. Looks pretty good on that first drive. You're going, come on, what are we doing here? Like is this going to be a much closer game than we give credit for? 10.5 point favorites. And then the San Diego State defense makes complete adjustments, shuts the door, doesn't allow anything the rest of the game, and the offense comes awake. So I think it's almost good that Wyoming challenged them a little bit early, and it wasn't just an absolute runaway from the get-go. Win in Hawaii, set up a big matchup next week. That is all San Diego is going to be talking about.
I had to catch myself a couple times on the post-game show because I was almost complaining about some things that were happening for the Aztecs. And I'm like, I'm complaining about a 7-1 team who just won by 20 points again.
But I think though, in your defense,
they didn't play great. That was one of the worst performances the Aztecs have had this year, and they won that game. What was the final score? They
24-7.
24-7.
I think though that's what's cool is that we've raised expectations. Last year it was simply if you could find a way to win, no matter how it was, if it looked ugly, whatever, and kind of almost taking in moral victories for losses.
Seriously,
it's cool that now San Diego State is being talked about as well. This is a team that has a legit chance to go really do something, and they're being kind of analyzed that way. That's a good thing for the program, not a bad thing.
Their road to the college football playoff is there. They do need some help. They need James Madison probably to lose to Washington State.
They need another loss from Georgia Tech.
I don't know that one's actually going to end up mattering. I think they're Tulane losing, UTSA, I want to say lost also. Like the road is there. It's going to take them going lossless the rest of the way. They got to sweep the rest of their schedule, and they need some help, especially from James Madison. But they received 30 votes in the top 25 poll this week. I was honestly a little surprised they didn't get more, but maybe it was because that wasn't one of their best efforts. They didn't win by 40. They only won by 17 points. So yeah, we'll see what happens here. But Hawaii next week, huge game. Following week, Boise State at home. Boise State, who just lost to Fresno State. Huge game. They're all big the rest of the way for the Aztecs. Can't wait for it. And Aztecs basketball starts tomorrow night. We got a huge couple of weeks here coming up. All right, it's San Diego Sports 760. We do have a pair of tickets to give away for that Aztecs basketball game tomorrow night at Viejas Arena against Long Beach. We'll give away our first pair on the other side. It's San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app.
The sport is sponsored by Lowe's. Monday Night Football. The Dallas Cowboys hosting in Jerry's World. The Kyler Murray-less Arizona Cardinals. Jacoby Brissett will be starting for the Cards tonight. That game will be right here on San Diego Sports 760. Pre-game coverage is going at 4:45. Well, the game is going at 5:15. Dallas is currently a 3.5 point favorite, and the Lakers riding a 3-game win streak. Beat the Miami Heat last night, 130-120. They'll be in Portland taking on the Trailblazers tonight. Portland open as a 3.5 point favorite, so bet down to 2.5. That game gets going at 7. Lowe's Know Sundays hit different when you earn them. So we're helping you with deals on top brands like Scott's, Pit Boss, Cobalt, and Trex decking. So get to Lowe's, get it done, and earn your Sunday. Lowe's, the official partner of the NFL.
San Diego Sports 760. Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you till 2 o'clock. The Aztecs basketball team is back. The 2025 season tips off tomorrow night. Our pregame coverage will begin at 6. John Schaefer, the voice of the Aztecs, is going to have the tip just after 7 right here on your home for Aztecs basketball, San Diego Sports 760. We got a pair of tickets for that game coming up within the next 7 minutes, so don't go anywhere. Sammy's got a long shots coming up in about 10 minutes. How'd we do over the weekend? I forgot to look.
2 of 4. Daniel Jones backdoor covered because they were playing from behind the whole time. And
my dumb Jonathan Taylor pick didn't even come close.
Because Bijan hit over and who did? Oh, Jamison Williams was a disaster.
Bummer. Well, we got a new long shots coming up. Sammy had been hot leading up to this weekend. We'll see if he can recapture some of that flame. I mean, Cowboys, Cardinals, you got to think there's some good stuff there.
Oh, we got fun
NBA games tonight. Lakers playing.
Yeah, we got something good cooked up for tonight.
Good. I like it. All right. We are going to do a little bit of an NFL segment here, so get ready for that. Also, the talkbacks have started to fly in. If you want a pair of tickets to this weekend's SDFC match on Sunday, as they take on the Portland Timber in a winner-take-all situation for the MLS postseason, you got to use the talkback mic. So get over to the free iHeartRadio app, download it, search San Diego Sports 760, hit that little red microphone icon, leave us a talkback saying your name and your neighborhood. That is all we need for you to win a pair of tickets to go see SDFC versus Portland. We'll be picking our winner on Friday. You got all week to load up the talkback mic for the random draw. All right, in the NFL, not sure how many people know this. Trade deadline is tomorrow. Basically 24 hours and 30 minutes away from where we're sitting right now.
Eagles already making moves.
Howie Roseman is so damn good.
Yeah.
Damn good as a general manager.
A 3rd round pick for Jalen Phillips. Howie Roseman, you got to give your flowers to him. This guy, NFL GMs over evaluate draft picks. Like, so you're telling me Jalen Phillips, who by the way is one of the most talented pass rushers in the NFL, the only problem is that he hasn't been able to stay on the field. Well, Philly is like, we already have a good pass rush. We're just adding him in as a complementary piece. Oh, we're giving up a 3rd round pick.
You're only asking him to play maybe 20 snaps a game.
Yeah,
it's genius.
I'm surprised. Like a lot of more teams weren't in on that for that price.
I thought that the kind of the mold of the NFL would break when the Rams won that Super Bowl with Les Snead and the F them picks. That Rams team. I thought that everyone was going to start to understand, like, you can kind of make your hay in the NFL with 4th, 5th, 6th round picks in the NFL draft.
I think that's how you win Super Bowls.
That's how GM should be graded. It's easy to pick in the 1st and 2nd rounds. It's where are your Puka Nakuas? Where are your, to give the Chiefs credit, not so much this year, but Isaiah Pacheco's? Like, where are you getting the guys late in the draft who are going to make a huge impact on your team? But you're right, Sammy. It's like 3rd round picks. They're worth more if you're bringing a guy in like a Jalen Phillips. It was such a great trade. Now you look around the league and it gets a lot more expensive, a lot quicker. Trey Hendrickson is available from the Cincinnati Bengals. They have now gone on record saying it's going to be a 1st and a 3rd round pick before we even start talking to you about Trey Hendrickson.
That's wild.
Which is so much to give up for a guy who's been dealing with a hip injury all year long.
Oh, it was 31. Jalen Phillips just went for a 3rd, who's, I believe Jalen Phillips is like 26. Like, no. And Trey Hendrickson, the only way you would make that deal is if Trey Hendrickson is signing a contract the day he gets traded.
I think it would be a trade and sign situation.
Because no way you're giving a 1st and 3rd round pick for a guy who, although he's a fantastic player and one of the elite pass rushers in the game, to just walk in the offseason and you're sitting there going, well, we lost our pass rusher we acquired and our draft pick.
Right. Now, some teams who are going to be needing people, I think the Buffalo Bills, who we just talked about, absolutely need to be active this trade deadline. The NFL trade deadline oftentimes is a big letdown because teams that we all look at and say, you need to go make a move, don't end up making moves and things get too expensive. Like Trey Hendrickson, I don't think is going to be moving because of the price tag on Trey Hendrickson.
Which is the biggest mistake the Cincinnati Bengals could ever make.
Another one in a long line of mistakes that the Cincinnati Bengals make. But Sammy, what are some other teams you're looking at who you're like, it's time for you to make a move at this trade deadline tomorrow?
I think, well, especially considering how the AFC and NFC, there are so many teams that are just kind of cluttered. Like there's so many teams that have talent that you could be like, they're winning the Super Bowl. And I don't think people could call you crazy. I think there's about 10 to 12 teams that you're like, yeah, they're pretty damn good team. I think the Chiefs need to be active in the trade deadline. I think they need a pass rusher. That was evidenced yesterday with not a lot of pressure on Josh Allen the entire game. I think the Chiefs need to be active there. I think the Bills and the Chargers need to go get a receiver. I firmly believe that. I think the Chargers case, hopefully Fran Joe Alt's fine. That sucked to see that his ankle got hurt again. You start to worry about that offensive line, and you already lost Slater, now Alt.
Joe Alt getting carted off yesterday. That put a dash into some Super Bowl hopes, I think, for a lot of Chargers fans.
Yeah, that sucks for them because Herbert with a good offensive line is fantastic. They need a receiver. I think the Bills need a receiver, as evidenced in the game yesterday. They didn't test the Chiefs down the field. It was a lot of the completion percentage, everything behind the line of scrimmage, 5 yards. There were only a couple deep shots. I think they need a receiver. That's kind of the AFC. I think receivers are at a premium. Like the Patriots, I think could add a receiver. I think you're going to a lot of teams in the NFC. The Packers, as evidenced by yesterday.
Man, Tucker Kraft. I mean, I know that killed one of my fantasy seasons. I don't know about the rest of you, but Tucker Kraft at the tight end position has been so valuable this year, not only to fantasy football, but to the Packers. Like, he's been the best option for that offense. He disappears yesterday after tearing his ACL. I think that was the injury. And now the Packers looked hapless yesterday.
Like, the Eagles are making moves. The Eagles are loading up on the pass rush. Your Niners are interesting because they keep winning games.
Phone it in.
But you do think with Fred Warner out, Nick Bosa out,
Michael Williams yesterday.
Yeah, he did.
Also, can we burn MetLife to the ground yet? Are we ready to just be done with that?
It's crazy they haven't changed that field. I mean, so you're like, some of the teams are thinning. I think tonight's a really interesting game. If you're looking for something to watch or listen to on San Diego Sports 760 tonight, the Cowboys, if they lose this game tonight, I think you turn into, we're going to see what happens. Let the team play itself out. If you win tonight, you're back to 500 at 4-4-1. You have a bye week and then the Raiders coming up. So there's two games here that the Cowboys are favored in and should win. I think the Cowboys are interesting because the Packers need a receiver. The Packers have to go get some money. The offense is terrible. They had 13 points. They should have thrown the pick 6. Did you see the one at Trayvon Merrick? Like, there's just a lot of teams cluttered right now. And if you're Miami, if you're the New York Jets, if you're one of these teams that have a Breece Hall, a Jalen Waddle, and the Saints, you have a Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed, I think you could fleece a couple teams that are trying to go win a Super Bowl.
I mean, if you're Cincinnati, Miami, New Orleans, you need to be thinking about trading one of your wide receivers because like Jalen Waddle could go for a lot right now. Cincinnati, T. Higgins could go for a lot right now. T. Higgins was fantastic yesterday, by the way. And then who was the other team I said? New Orleans, Chris Olave, you got a guy. Right. Rashid Shaheed, you got a guy who you can move. They need to be doing that because now's the time. Like, look, if you're the Miami Dolphins, seriously, you just fire Chris Greer. You're starting to sell off pieces, which you should be doing. You get to this offseason and you say Mike McDaniel's job is safe until at least the offseason. Well, if he turns in this bad of a performance this year, you're probably moving on from Mike McDaniel.
Right.
That becomes the worst looking job in the NFL.
Well, and so Tyreek Hill's already talking about maybe retirement. He's 32, 33 years old, had a massive knee injury. That's your franchise. That's your guy why you think the Dolphins could be good. If he's gone, I'm calling teams about Achane. Achane is your valuable piece.
You should be moving off of Waddle too, I think.
Waddle 100%.
Try to at least load up some draft picks so the GM carousel, when it starts going around, at least the GM looks at you as like, oh, you got some draft picks, even though you have a terrible quarterback and a less than superior skill position set. You might as well get a bunch of draft picks while you can.
I don't know if you saw, speaking of the Cincinnati Bengals, we mentioned a couple minutes ago, that post game, we can get into it a little bit later, Chase Brown and Jamar Chase kind of go off and basically call out the defense without calling out the defense, without saying it. If the Cincinnati Bengals were smart, they would trade T. Higgins. They would trade Trey Hendrickson. They would blow this thing up and rebuild with Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow and try to get as many draft picks. That defense is so bad. They are not a player away or 2 players away. They need to have like 10 picks in an NFL draft, and 9 of them are on the defensive side, and you hope that 3 or 4 hit.
And offensive line. Like, you almost need to do a clean split between defensive and offensive line, and then hope you can add to the secondary via trade. Because right now, the Bengals defense, the way Joe Flacco, who literally may have just played his best game in an 18-year NFL career, lost that football game is baffling to me. Joe Flacco's won a Super Bowl. Joe Flacco's played some incredible football. That may have been the best game of his entire career yesterday.
Yeah.
Puts up 45 points, however many he did, and they still lose on a last-second 70-yard bomb to a
38
tight
against
end.
the Jets the week before. They cost us.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. The Bengals are such a hapless organization. All right, the NFC, by the way, is fascinating. We can get into that in hour 2, but I honestly am now starting to think that the NFC champion is going to be coming out of the NFC West, and it's not the San Francisco 49ers. We'll get into that in hour 2. Long Shots is coming up next. Right now, your opportunity to win a pair of tickets to tomorrow night's Aztecs basketball game, the home opener of the 2025-2026 college basketball season. If you want to win a pair of tickets for San Diego State versus Long Beach State, you're going to call in right now, 877-767-4760. Sammy, what number do you want to give these to?
Let's do 12.
How about caller number 12? You're going to see some Aztecs hoops tomorrow night at Viejas Arena at San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app. Hey, it's Fletch for Gary Cooper at Mountain Trust Mortgage and Realty. You can always give Gary Cooper a call at 858-376-1299 or visit him online at mountaintrustmortgage.com. And I tell you all the time, if you're looking to buy or sell a home, Gary Cooper is the guy to call. But Gary, you got some other ways for our listeners to save money as well.
Well, I always try because I have so many different lenders that I can work with, but I do have lenders that use a lot of automation. And then, for example, instead of paying for a full appraisal, a lot of times they will use their AVMs to determine value, and therefore you don't have to pay for an appraisal. Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, through their automated system, will sometimes waive appraisals. There's even cases where they only need a limited title policy as opposed to a full title policy. I've got lenders that if I use their in-house title and escrow, it streamlines everything, not only to be quicker, but also cheaper. So there are different ways to save money.
Call Gary Cooper today, 858-376-1299, or visit him online at mountaintrustmortgage.com. Gary's looking out for you, man. Go get that degree in loanology. San Diego Sports 760, Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you till 2 o'clock today. John and Jim will take over then. Sammy, do you know the name of who just won those Aztecs?
Terry, going to the game, him and his son. Very excited for the season at hand. Things are going to be really good.
What was the name? I forgot to put my headphones on.
Terry,
what's going on? Thank you for listening,
Big
Terry.
T.
I'm so pumped up for Aztecs basketball, man.
It's going to be fun.
College basketball is like top notch for me. I'm pumped that it's back. All right, we got a Monday Night Football game tonight right here on San Diego Sports 760. Cowboys, Cardinals. You'll hear it here starting at 4:45. We got a bunch of NBA games going on. There's hockey going on. Very curious what Sammy's going to pick.
We got a lot of good stuff to choose from. Sometimes days like this can be overwhelming because there's so much to choose from.
I'm overwhelmed. We've had so much to react to, so much to look forward to. This is a big day here on San Diego Sports 760. So let's get to long shots where Sammy Long creates a daily fantasy sports lineup for us. He works so hard on these, and then he puts them together, and then we give them out to all of you. And in cases like last week, Sammy was on fire. We all made a lot of money. Let's see what happens this week. Sammy, if you will, go ahead and smash it.
You looking for some luck? Want to win big? Gotta play big.
You are so money, and you don't even know it.
Time to take a chance.
Pay that man his money.
With long shots.
There's college basketball going on today, too. Florida, Arizona play later.
Yes, be excited to tap into that.
We got to wait on college basketball, though. You never know, at least for these purposes, because you never really know over an offseason what changes.
College basketball has been not kind to me gambling at times because, sometimes they'll decide to take some kid out because he, failed a test or something. It's like, I'm sorry, was he in my lineup?
Prioritize basketball, not learning. What are we thinking?
Yeah, exactly. I hate that BS. It's about the learning environment. No, it's not. It's about winning basketball games.
Sure. All right, where are we going, Sammy?
All right, we're going to Dallas, Arizona first. Guys, you can hear it on the station tonight. Anytime the Cowboys play, it feels like a big game because there's storylines left and right. So a lot going on with the Arizona Cardinals. Today, Marvin Harrison's dad calls out the team. It talks about how the offense is like dreadful to watch and kind of making excuses for his son, which has not been the best player he can be as well. Now, Jacoby Brissett is starting tonight. There's no Kyler Murray in this one. So Javonte Williams, more than 65.5 rush yards. I think the Cowboys are going to get after this run game. Just a lot. I think they're going to be winning in this game. I'm actually very surprised the line is only 3.5. Now, I know that the Cardinals kind of hung with the Packers last week, but look what just happened to the Packers. The Carolina Panthers just went in and beat them. I think this could be a blowout. I think the Cowboys are going to absolutely run all over them because, I think we're a little bit down on the Cowboys after what we saw against the Denver Broncos. that game, the final score, yes, Denver whooped up on them. There were a few moments in that game where that could have been close. A 4th and 4 where Dak kind of ducked it, and the game just completely got out of hand. Javonte Williams, more than 65.5 rushing yards. I think they're going to be up on Arizona and get after it tonight. All right, and then we're going to go Trey McBride, more than 68.5 receiving yards on the other side. Again, playing into how the game script of how I think it's going to go, they're going to be losing in this one. And shout out to Jacoby Brissett because he did have a pretty good passing day against the Green Bay Packers and that pretty good defense. This is a guy who has started for a lot of teams in his career. He's not going to be scared of the bright lights in Jerry's world. Trey McBride, more than 68.5 receiving yards. Fletch and I were kind of talking about this before. I was debating where to go with Marvin Harrison Jr. So as I mentioned, his dad calls out the offense, talks about it's dreadful to watch. Marvin Harrison is supposed to be the franchise. He was the guy. I was living out in Phoenix when they drafted him. It was a big deal. That was like the thing that was going to save the team.
He does look like he should be also.
He's when he's on, like that Seahawks game, that Thursday night.
Yeah,
he got
fantastic.
Fantastic. After he dropped the first 2 balls and he got it going in the second half. But there's times just a lack of focus. You can't call it the team like this. This is not college. This is not Ohio State where the player can be as big as the program. All right? This is the Arizona Cardinals. They're throwing a Trey McBride tonight. Okay? They're going to the best.
Trying to send a message, huh?
They're sending a message. This is not, you're not running the football team. Daddy's not getting on Twitter and telling us what to do. More than 68.5 receiving yards for Trey McBride. I think he's the focal point of the offense tonight. And the Cowboys really struggle covering tight ends, kind of like everything. Trayvon Diggs going to be running with Marvin Harrison all night. Yeah. So I think this is a Trey McBride game, more than 68.5 receiving yards.
When you think about it, really, Dallas's weakness from the defensive side is the secondary. It's over the top, but they don't cover tight ends very well
at all. And I think, again, with Trayvon Diggs being back, he missed that game against Denver. I think they're going to have something for Marvin Harrison Jr.
Is that it you have for this game for tonight?
Yes.
I do like a sprinkle. You don't have to do it. This is an add-in for tonight's game. Bam Knight touchdown. If you're feeling risky, you want to go Red Demon.
Okay, you want to go a little Red Demon. That's Fletch's pick. Bam Knight touchdown. We're going to head to the NBA. Denver, Sacramento, Nikola Jokic, more than 22.5 assists and rebounds. Sacramento does not have anyone wrong with Jokic at all. Sabonis has not been the guy he's been in years past. He's also not a big. He's more of an athletic big that wants to play in space. I think Jokic is going to have an absolute field day. The Kings are built on guards. Levine, Malik Monk, guys like that. Nikola Jokic, I think, is going to absolutely feast. More than 22.5 rebounds and assists for Nikola Jokic. In a last pick, this is a Laker one. Austin Reeves, more than 24.5 points against Portland. Should be a good game tonight. The kind of line is interesting. I'm surprised Portland's actually a 3.5 point favorite. The Lakers scored 130 points last night. And it's crazy. The offense looked actually very bad. Luka was like 1 of 11 from 3. Reeves couldn't get it going till later in the game. I think this is a big Austin Reeves night. Portland's young. They're talented, but they don't have anyone to guard him. And I think Austin Reeves is going to get to the rack a lot. 24.5 points. I think this is a little bit of a reaction to him not having as good of a night as he could have last night. More than for Austin Reeves, 24.5. So to recap, Austin Reeves, more than 24.5 points. Nikola Jokic, more than 12.5 rebounds and assists. Trey McBride, more than 68.5 receiving yards. And Javonte Williams, more than 65.5 rush yards.
Boom. We're in there. I like
Lock it in.
Is that 4 picks? Wow.
4 picks.
Feeling hot after last week still, huh?
We had 3 winners last week. We're not going to let a little weekend clunker get us down.
Still riding some residual highs from a week ago. All right, that's it for hour 1. Hour number 2 is coming up next. We have another pair of tickets to give away for Aztecs Long Beach tomorrow night at Viejas Arena. We'll give those away. We will explain how you can win some SDFC postseason tickets for this Sunday's match against the Portland Timbers, a deciding Game 3 between those two teams. We'll tell you how you can win those coming up next. It's San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app.
This sport is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. College basketball back today. Gets going today at 4:00. Big one. Florida, number 3rd ranked in the country, taking on number 13 Arizona in Las Vegas. Florida is currently a 3.5-point favorite. The Lakers are back tonight as well after getting a win over the Miami Heat last night. They'll be in Portland at 7:00, taking on the Blazers. They're currently favored by 2.5. In the NFL Monday Night Football game, Jacoby Brissett and the Arizona Cardinals, with Kyler Murray out, will be in Dallas taking on them boys at 5:15. Your coverage get going on our station at 4:45. Dallas is a 3.5-point favorite. Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your motorcycle, RV, boat, ATV, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at progressive.com. That's progressive.com.
Well, don't keep us in suspense any longer. Show us what you got.
Well, the madness of the NFL season continues.
68 yards away. It's up there. It's out there. And it's good. It's good for 68. He's J.J. McCarthy with another rushing touchdown this season. And the Vikings have a 23-14 lead.
McCaffrey's wide open. Left flat. The pass floats in. He pulls it in along the left pylon for a 49ers touchdown.
Pass rush coming. Mahomes retreating. Heaves it down the field. And it's knocked down and incomplete as the Bills escape with a 28-21 victory.
It was another statement for the Aztecs.
And it is a gift to Sutton. He breaks free. There he goes. Down the near side. Sutton scores. Aztecs running away from Wyoming.
And SDFC comes so close.
Portland wins the penalty kick shootout 3-2. They win the match, and there will be a decisive winner-take-all game 3.
Plus, they did it again.
Fletch has it. Steps on the back. The throw to first. Double play from Beck.
Do we have to talk about this? I'm sick of it.
We break down a wild weekend right now in the Fletch Zone.
It's hour number 2 here on San Diego Sports 760. Let's get it going. My name is Ben Fletcher. That is Sammy Long. We will be with you till 2 o'clock today. John and Jim will take over right after we get off the air. We still have another pair of Aztecs basketball tickets to give away for tomorrow night's game against Long Beach. We will be doing that before we get off today. We also can tell you that coming up this Sunday, a match between SDFC and the Portland Timbers, a match that will take place here in San Diego, a decisive game 3 to see if SDFC will continue their postseason in this, an inaugural first season, a historic first season for SDFC. We got a pair of tickets for that as well. We're not giving them away today. We are giving them away this week. You can qualify to win them today. To do so, open up the free iHeartRadio app. Obviously, we're already on your presets. If we're not, hit that little plus button. Listen to San Diego Sports 760. In the top right-hand corner of the screen, you're going to see a talkback mic, a little red microphone. Click that, leave a 30-second message that says your name and your neighborhood. With those 2 things, you are entered to win a pair of tickets to SDFC's Game 3 coming up on Sunday at Snapdragon Stadium. All right, with all that said, we have a bunch of really great texts that we've gotten on the show today, Sammy. We will read all of them coming up in about 10 minutes. After the big 3 of hour number 2, there's one especially that I love about Sammy's Kansas City Chiefs and a bet that we're trying to have off the air. But now,
I'm ready for the bet. He's not ready for the bet.
I'm not ready for the bet. If I'm being honest, it seems like a very dumb bet for me to take, but I might just take it. But for right now, let's real quick take a look at the NFC and tell me who's better than the Seattle Seahawks. If we're being completely honest about it, like the Rams are kind of filthy out of the NFC West. They are. Matthew Stafford's having one of those years where he is looking really, really good. And between Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams, that might be the best wide receiving tandem. Put it up against Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, but they're kind of on an irrelevant team. So you look around the NFC, the Lions are stacked, man, and they get a lot of glitz and glam headlines. The Rams also have a bunch of flash, have a really good squad. Seahawks might have the best roster top to bottom. They just don't have the quarterback maybe, but Sam Darnold is spinning it at an all-time level right now.
I think we got to start rewriting that converstion. Like, yes, I understand it's a lot like Daniel Jones.
But if you were power ranking Goff, Darnold, Stafford, you're probably going Darnold. What? Goff, Darnold, Stafford. You're probably going Darnold 3.
Yes, that's fair. But and this is the same thing with the Colts, is until Daniel Jones goes on the road and makes a big playoff win or Sam Darnold does it, there's always going to be the skepticism of like, yeah, this is great. But right now, to the Seattle Seahawks, I mean, they're playing unbelievable football. They had one of the best young defenses in the league last year. Sam Darnold's playing out of his mind. It's kind of crazy. Like if you're Minnesota, now Minnesota got a big win yesterday. So shout out to JJ McCarthy. He looked good in that game. Didn't have a ton of passing yards, but 3 touchdowns, made a couple big throws late in that game. So got to give JJ McCarthy some credit. But this guy's in your building, and Sam Darnold is just, I mean, destroying Washington. Everyone thought that was going to be a good game last night. I thought that was going to be a good game. Washington in Seattle.
Wasn't even close when Jaden Daniels was playing. I couldn't believe they left him in the game, and that injury was horrifying. But the play where that game showed me, oh, this is a one-sided matchup between the Seahawks and the Commanders, was the kickoff return where they fumbled. The Commanders did. And then the very next play, Sam Darnold throws a bomb for a touchdown on a play where he had 3 separate wide receivers, all who would have scored a touchdown on the same play. It's the Seattle Seahawks are a problem, man, because you've taken what was already a good team with Geno Smith at quarterback that had a really excellent run game, and they didn't ask Geno to do a whole lot. You've added Sam Darnold to that, who is totally competent at the quarterback spot and is able to get some stuff done and is spinning the ball really nicely with Jackson Smith and Jigba running every route imaginable. And then you have that 2-headed back between Zach Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker with that defense that's young and under control. They're fantastic.
Look at the NFC. The Packers just lost to the Panthers, and I got major not just because of last week. I got major question marks about them. They barely beat Cincinnati. We got way too high on them for beating the Lions in week 1 and then Washington week 2, who we all thought was going to be really good.
Jordan Love's decision-making is awful.
Tampa Bay seems to be kind of falling off, unfortunately, just because they're 6-2. But the amount of injuries that are stacking up, you start to wonder if they're going to be able to last just in the NFL playoff picture, as well as I do think they'll be there, but you can't come back every time in the fourth quarter and win on your way to the Super Bowl. I think the Eagles have steadied themselves. I really like the Jalen Phillips get, but like after Philly, like the Rams deserve credit. The Lions have been a little up and down this year, but I think they'll get healthier defensively. But the Seahawks keep proving everyone wrong, and they've had some really good wins this year. I'm excited for that Rams-Seahawks showdown when we get that.
It's going to be fantastic, man. Unfortunately, like the 49ers are kind of falling by the wayside. They took another horrible injury yesterday with Mykel Williams, their rookie, who's played some good football this year. So I think you can almost count them out of the conversation, but Rams, Seahawks, Eagles, Lions, those are my 4 right now out of the NFC. I wouldn't be surprised if any of them made it all the way to the Super Bowl this year. They're all playing really good football. All right, let's get to the big 3 of hour number 2. Sammy rips through the top stories in the world of sports. Sammy, smash it.
Your lunch break is here. Ready to go back to the office and knock the socks off your friends? I mean, coworkers? It's time for the top stories of the day. The big 3.
All right, we're short on time, so let's get right into it. Where are we going, Sammy?
All right, Cowboys tonight hosting Arizona. Jerry Jones says, and I quote as of a few minutes ago on controversy, "I just stir that S up," for why he says all the stuff he does in the media. My question is this, though. Is if the Cowboys win tonight, are they buyers at the trade deadline? Or if they win tonight, does it even matter? Does tonight's game even matter for the Cowboys in terms of if they're buyers or sellers tomorrow?
Give me that quote from Jerry one more time.
On controversy, I just like to stir that S up.
They're currently in 11th place in the NFC. Man, I get what he does. I get that the Dallas Cowboys are maybe the biggest brand in sports. Jerry is kind of just laughable for me at this point, and I love that he does this. Believe me, I love it. It's so much fun seeing what wild stuff Jerry has to say on a day-to-day basis. But quite literally, by the percentages, the Cowboys have a 13% chance as of right now to make the postseason. If they win tonight, it's up to a 16% chance. If they lose tonight, it's down to a 6% chance. My answer is no, tonight shouldn't matter for the Dallas Cowboys. They should probably be trying to stack as many losses as possible at this point and use the multiple first-round picks they have next year to get better and draft defensively and try to fix this problem, because how many more years of Dak do you have left? My honest thought is no matter what happens tonight, they'll probably make some sort of splashy move to try to, as Jerry says, stir some S up.
If they win tonight, I can bet any amount of money that I have, Jerry Jones is going to be on that post game going, we're on the phone all night long, and we're going to get somebody because this team's ready to win. Now, the NFC.
Max Crosby, come on home to Papa.
Max, come on now. Come on. You know you want to be a Cowboy. In the NFC, now the one thing I will say for Jerry, They should not do this. Listen, if they want to make a marginal move that they think for a young player that they think will be in their defense for a lot of years to come, I'm not talking about Crosby. Guys,
no, you're talking about a 3rd-round draft pick leaving, bringing in somebody who can make an immediate
example. Jalen Phillips, who just went to the Eagles,
would have been great for the Cowboys.
Fantastic. 3rd-round pick. He's 26. He's going to be a part of your defense for years to come. Now, if they go out here, because I do think if they win tonight, they'll be shopping. If they lose tonight, given the schedule after this in the Raider game, I think that they won't because it does get pretty tough. But if they win tonight, I think they will go get someone. If you go give up the Micah picks, because in Jerry's defense, he's looked all right to this point.
He made the right move at the wrong time.
He should have done it before the draft. But in terms of what Jerry said, this defense is not one piece away. They weren't good with Micah. So I understand the thinking of let's get draft picks and try to rebuild this thing a la what the Cincinnati Bengals should do, but don't do. If they go give up 2 first-round draft picks that they just got from Micah Parsons for Max Crosby, who, by the way, is 2 years older than Micah Parsons, it's like, Jerry, what are you doing? You just went back on something you did, which actually is kind of working out maybe in the long run, but I do think they will be in the market for someone big if they win tonight.
Keep saying wild stuff, Jerry. It's fun. What's next?
All right, let's head to the NBA. So kind of wild thing over the weekend. So John Morant, per ESPN, his trade market is not robust. So Friday night, he goes 3 of 14 against the Lakers, gets suspended a game for conduct detrimental to the team.
By the team, right? Not by the league.
Yeah, but no, by the team, essentially for not trying. For like watching the game was very odd. It was very lackadaisical. Didn't put much into it. My question is this, though. Who has been a bigger bust in the NBA? Zion, who was picked number 1 in that draft, or John Morant at number 2?
Dude, it is Zion through and through. It's not even close. Do you remember the day Zion got drafted? Do you remember the film from the Pelicans draft room?
Yeah.
They were, or it might have been the day the lottery got decided. They were losing their damn minds. They thought they just drafted the next LeBron James with Zion Williamson.
It had good reason to think so.
For sure. One of the most freakish athletes we've seen coming into the NBA in a long time. Obviously, that has not worked out. John Morant was in the postseason last year, making some big plays. And by the way, playing on like a broken knee and playing well. John Morant, I would not label as a bust whatsoever. Now, he's insane. He's made some really bad decisions in his NBA career and on Instagram Live. But John Morant on the court has been one of the best players in basketball the last few years. He's not a bust. He's a bust in terms of like being a good teammate, in terms of putting a good brand. But as a player, no. But John Morant's one of the best players in the league.
That's what's so frustrating is you look at like your typical thinking of bust is
Zion.
Right. But Greg Oden, like he can't play. Or in the NFL, Ryan Leaf, like they are not, Jamarcus Russell, they are not a good player. Zion has moments in the NBA where he looks unbelievable in his career. He can't stay on the floor. As Stephen A said, he got per sources, he'll literally eat the table, which is a crazy thing to say, but he won't stay in shape. And then you got John Morant over here, who's getting in trouble off the court, not trying. Clearly, Friday night, that was one of the most pathetic efforts in a game that was close for a lot of it. It was very odd watching it. It was clear he was sending a message he didn't want to be there. Both of these guys, I think, got to be labeled as bust, not in terms of talent, but in terms of how they have acted on and off the court, because they could be so much better than they are.
Here's the problem with John Morant. The NBA desperately needs John Morant to be great.
He's a great American player.
He's fantastic when he's playing, when he's motivated. And they need that highlight reel that John Morant provides every single time he's motivated in a game. He just needs the right fit. Clearly, Memphis is not it.
Yeah, I think he'll be on his way out of town. Quickly, third story. So the Bears, we talked about
him with Wemby. That'd be fun.
Oh, wow. Hopefully he doesn't get Wemby in trouble.
Well, no, get him with Wemby and get Popovich to scare the word of Christ into him. Like, make him terrified to step outside the boundaries.
Don't trade him to Miami, okay? Do not trade him to Miami.
God, John Morant in Miami would be a problem. Although a little looser laws there. He could probably, everything he does is legal
actually,
in
Florida,
Miami.
they're fine with whatever, so he could probably do whatever he wanted to. Let's head to the Chicago Bears, 47-42. Wild game over the Cincinnati Bengals. Two things. Was that a Caleb Williams get-right game, or was that more about the fact that the Bengals defense is an atrocity?
All right, can we just be very honest? The play that won the game, was it a 60-yard reception? It was I
think it was a 58-yard touchdown by Loveland.
58-yard touchdown to a tight end who's not exactly having the fastest 40-yard time in the world, right? Like Loveland, he was looked like the Yeti in that old Rudolph claymation movie, running down the field trying to get into the end zone. It's not like it was a running back running away from anyone. Cincinnati Bengals defense is the worst defense I've ever seen in my life.
And the Cowboys are playing tonight too.
Back-to-back weeks against teams who offensively have been a bit of a joke. The Cincinnati Bengals to the New York Jets and Justin Fields, who hasn't looked like he's been able to throw a football all year long. And then to Caleb Williams, who, let's be very honest, outside of scripted plays, Caleb Williams also has not looked like he's been able to throw a football all year long. Those two quarterbacks look like freaking MVPs against the Cincinnati Bengals.
Unbelievable. And
Caleb Williams is catching touchdown passes.
He caught two balls
on a Philly special that I saw coming sitting from the couch.
Did you see him? He caught another one later in the game. As much as I defend Caleb,
do not talk about Caleb Williams in a positive
yes.
light after yesterday's game. It's an insane thing to say.
Two big. Now he did what he had to do, but he did his two biggest games come against the Bengals, terrible defense, and the Cowboys, terrible defense. So we need to see this against better competition before we start going. Caleb Williams is good.
Just a team that tries defensively would be nice.
Now, I will give the Bears credit in this regard. They've won 5 of 6 games. So although it doesn't always look great, it's ugly. They are winning football games. So to be fair to them, they are getting it done. The Bengals, it's like Dallas. It's like, why are you trading draft picks to, like, you did it right. You got draft picks back from Micah Parsons. This defense needs a complete rehaul, even more so than the Cowboys. The Bengals defense, in terms of just a pure roster, is one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. Trey Hendrickson is their best player far and away, and he's 31-32. So they should be trading T. Higgins, try to recoup draft picks, but they're not going to do that because they want to sell tickets and keep Joe Burrow happy.
We got to take a break, but Zach Taylor's name on the chopping block makes little to no sense to me. The head coach for the Cincinnati Bengals.
It makes no sense to you?
Little to no sense to me. That offense is putting up 40 points a game with Joe Flacco. Zach Taylor is an offensive head coach. Fire the GM yesterday and the day before that.
That's fair. It's fair. I think the GM's more at fault, but I also think Cincy with a better head coach.
You're starting down 40 every week, Sammy. Like, the offensive game plan to make these games competitive is insane.
It just feel like Zach Taylor, though, is still living off the run of the Super Bowl. And what is Zach like? We're hearing about Harbaugh and Tomlin being on the chopping block. Zach Taylor's name should certainly be there.
The Bengals are putting up more points than just about anybody on a week in, week out basis, and it's not enough. It's not enough because that defense is so bad.
But I know he's offensive minded head coach, but he has to be held responsible for how bad this defense is somewhat.
Well, I don't know, man. It's crazy. All right. Coming up next, let's tell you how to win some SDFC tickets. That's on the other side at San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app. San Diego Sports 760. We got a pair of Aztecs tickets to give away. We'll do that this hour. We also have an opportunity for you to win a pair of tickets to go see SDFC this weekend in what hopefully is not their final game of the season, but they're playing against Portland in a decisive Game 3 at Snapdragon Stadium. To win them, get on the talkback mic on the free iHeartRadio app while you're listening to San Diego Sports 760. Tell us your name and your neighborhood, and you are automatically entered into winning a pair of tickets for Sunday's match. We will announce our winner coming up on Friday. All right, if you missed it, couple of Padres news notes. They're going to have a new closer next year because Suarez has opted out of his deal. Probably Mason Miller, depending on if they move him to starting rotation or not. I don't know.
Well, that real quick makes that even because that was, I think the plan all along was to make Miller a starting pitcher.
But the Padres knew Suarez was probably going to opt out. I don't know. Miller's so good at the back end. Do you really want to move him to the starter?
But
I don't know.
I think it's just peer pressure in terms of the fact that you gave up a lot of prospects for a guy who a closer's only playing every couple days.
Now, I believe he's entering into his first year of arbitration. Mason Miller is. I believe. I could be wrong on that. I'm pretty sure he is. And I know the Padres have control over him for the next 3 seasons after this last one. So theoretically, you get a closer for 4 years. If he's the best closer in baseball, maybe it's worth it giving up a Leo DeVries, but we'll see.
858 says, I bet they pay Miller maybe with those two leaving meaning Michael King and Robert Suarez.
And Michael King is that other note. He's declined his side of the mutual option as well. So Suarez and King probably will both get paid very nicely elsewhere. All right, let's get to some of these texts. 760. We were just talking about Zion Williamson. Remember when Zion got aired out by a porn star? I normally don't care about that stuff, but it was funny. Yeah, that was it was like Zion's girlfriend announced that they were having a baby. And then all of a sudden some porn star jumps in and says, yeah, I've been with Zion for years now.
Zion says some crazy stuff on Instagram.
Zion, it's tricky though, because NBA Centel, that fake account, attacks Zion like no other.
Oh yeah.
Which I don't know. Is NBA Centel still in existence or is it?
No, it got back. It got banned and then it got back.
They'll never die. I love Centel. 619, Sammy, your phony Southern accent is worse than Brian Kelly's.
I'll work on that.
You want to give us a little Jerry Jones here?
Hold on. I gotta
get into it.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's real bad.
You put me on the spot. I had to work something up for that.
You got to talk. Michael Parsons is Michael Parsons. Sorry. Michael Parsons was holding us back. Say that.
Michael Parsons was holding us back.
It's getting better, maybe. I don't know.
I gotta have like a little straw coming out of my mouth. You know what I mean?
858. Now that the Chiefs are on the outside of the postseason looking in, will Sammy keep them in his Fletch Zone top 5 power rankings?
No, I won't right now because they don't deserve to be in the top 5 right now. Those power rankings were based on up to that week. That's why this texter got mad last week that I didn't have the Bills in because what I had seen from a Panther win was not enough. They will be in the top 5. The Chiefs will not. In 2 weeks, when they whoop the Broncos, they'll be back in it.
Now, it's hard for me to even get these words out without Sammy having a heart attack. But what if the Chiefs do miss the postseason, which is not impossible? It's not insane.
You're totally right. Let's bet right now.
I don't want to.
You and I, the Chiefs miss the postseason.
I'll bet you a burrito.
No, let's put some real something on it.
I don't want to put some real something on it because I think the Chiefs will make the postseason, but it is going to be tougher than I think you're saying it's going to be.
I didn't say it's going to be easy, but the Chiefs are too good to not be in the postseason.
All right. We opened up the show today talking about the World Series, and I kind of made the claim, like, for everybody saying the Dodgers are ruining baseball, essentially it just comes down to jealousy. And that's tough to say sitting in San Diego, but it's true. Like, the Dodgers do spend a whole bunch of money, but if Yamamoto wasn't going to be the MVP of this series, who would it have been, Sammy?
Will Klein.
Maybe
Miguel Rojas.
Maybe Rojas. That's who I was thinking. Rojas had some huge moments in this World Series.
Muncy with the solo shot. Will Smith was probably going to be it had it not been.
You would have to go pretty far down the list before you get to Shohei Ohtani or Mookie Betts.
Mookie Betts certainly was not. He was only good in Game 6.
He made that nice double play. Other than that, what did Mookie Betts really do? Okay, so that's kind of what my point was. 619 texts in says, I agree. It's the best World Series I've ever seen in my life. We are left now, sadly, to analyze what the difference between the Dodgers, Blue Jays, and the Padres. To me, it's the fact that the Dodgers and Blue Jays consistently had different players, both pitchers and hitters, who came through in the clutch, while the Padres star player Machado, Tatis, and others failed to come through where it counted. It should be a lesson to what future players we bring onto this team and what we base postseason success versus regular season success production. Love the show, from Brian. Brian, you're spot on, dude. You're 100% right. How different is this postseason if Machado and Tatis play to what they normally play as?
Well, that's where you hear like, yes, are the Dodgers they're in on every free agent. They're in on Kyle Tucker. Like, yes, people get tired of it.
They spent a bunch of money on guys who didn't even make the postseason roster.
Well, that's what I was getting to. Is so people go, oh, well, they're just buying world championships. If you think about their big 5 signings they had, Blake Snell was a big part of that. Obviously, them winning the whole thing. Tanner Scott didn't pitch in the postseason. Kirby Yates didn't pitch in the postseason. Michael Conforto didn't play in the postseason. And Roki Sasaki played, but it wasn't a thing. And the Dodgers just convinced him to go there because they couldn't pay him any more money because of the arbitration rules. This is 100% right. It's like, where is the Padres Miguel Rojas? Where is it's hard when we're talking about this team and the fact that like people want to kill AJ Preller. AJ Preller went all in to go win this year and had one of the most feared pitching staffs in the entire postseason heading in, which is why so many people in San Diego were high on the Padres going into it. And then Tatis and Machado go 2 for 22. I mean, at some point that's just unacceptable. And you have to point at the 2 stars. I know people don't want to, they're the hometown guys. People like them, but like we see today, the gold glove. Tatis the gold glove. Oh, let's have a party. I'm sorry. His contract, he should be a gold glove every year. That's expected.
747. The Blue Jays gave that series away. They had it. On that note, teams like the Dodgers, Padres, Mets, Blue Jays, etc., are actually saving baseball. Teams like the Pirates, Reds, Marlins, Rockies are not. Do you want an owner that profits $1 billion and spends half of it on the team and making their ballpark a better experience for fans, or do you want an owner that profits $1 billion and spends $70 million on the team and nothing on their ballpark?
That's the other problem. People say salary cap 100% needs to be there. There needs to be a salary floor.
Yes, and the Padres need to not go into an era of not spending. And they did for a long time, by the way, before Peter Seidler was there.
And we're going to get to break, but like think about the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Pittsburgh Pirates have maybe the most electric player in baseball.
I swear to God, if Paul Skeens gets traded to the Dodgers, I will riot. Yeah, I will riot.
But
so hard.
But like you think about like that pitching staff, the Pirates pitching staff is one of the best in baseball, and yet
none of them will see a second contract with the Pirates.
None of them will be there, and they refuse to spend on any hitters to even give them a chance. Like that is unacceptable in baseball. That is killing baseball.
Aztec tickets on the other side. Stay tuned for those. We got a pair of them for tomorrow night's game. We will give those away coming up next. Plus, get back to the NFL. It's San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app.
The sport is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Monday Night Football tonight. Cardinals, Cowboys, live from Jerry's World. Cowboys currently a 3.5 point favorite. You hear that game right here on San Diego Sports 760. Game that's going at 5:15. Pregame coverage at 4:45. And the Lakers are up in Portland taking on the Trailblazers. Luka Doncic, per David Meneman, will not be playing tonight. Austin Reeves will have to lead the show against the Portland Trailblazers. Progressive Commercial Insurance can protect your small business with over 30 coverage options, an easy-to-use mobile app, personalized discounts, and more. Get a quote in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Discounts and coverage selections not available in all states or situations.
Man, tonight on TNT, Arizona, Florida, that's a 4-13 matchup. Come on, college
in
basketball.
Vegas.
Oh, it's in Vegas? Where's it at?
I don't know the arena, but it's live from Vegas.
Should we fly out, rent a PJ for the night, Sammy? You got the funds, right?
Let's do it.
I'm in. That's an awesome matchup, man. 4 versus 13 right away. Arizona's on San Diego State's schedule this year. That's a fun one to watch. I can't wait for tonight, man. All right. I do have a conspiracy theory.
Oh no.
And
you're not going to say this on the air.
No, I'm going to say it on the air. I'm not saying the NFL is rigged. I'm saying when something smells like fish, usually there's fish in the area. All right. And this smells fishy to me.
Oh no.
So yes, I did have a little money on the losing side of this, and maybe that's why I'm a little more perturbed. But the Raiders-Jags game gets buried yesterday behind Chiefs-Bills, which we can all agree Chiefs-Bills was the marquee game of the weekend. We all agree on that, yes?
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any question.
So Chiefs-Bills, which was not a primetime game, but is definitely the marquee game of the weekend, is going at 125 yesterday, right up against Raiders-Jags. The line for this game was suspiciously small at -2.5, -3.5. Can't remember exactly.
No Travis Hunter, though.
Sure, but still, suspiciously small line for a team who has beat the Chiefs this year, a team who's beat the 49ers this year. The Jaguars have been playing some good ball. Raiders are in the Bengals category for me. Like, they've been that bad this year. So that line comes out, and I immediately think that's a small line, man. But I, thinking I'm smarter than Vegas, of course, went with the Jags in a couple of different pools I'm in, and a thing I have with my buddy in Chicago, a thing I have with my dad and my brother. Took the Jags at -3.5. Now I'm finding out, Sammy. So in a game that's buried, a game that has a suspiciously small line, and a game that ends up being weird decisions to get into overtime, almost a tie, go for 2, doesn't get to go for 2.
Stop.
I'm seeing that somebody placed $1 million bet on the Raiders at the last second, +1.5 on Sunday in game. Wins $800,000 after the Raiders score a touchdown in overtime and go for 2. This bet has been confirmed as legitimate. Someone's spending $1 million, Sammy, on the Raiders. The Las Vegas Raiders.
Do you think that the NFL can make Geno Smith throw 4 touchdowns?
I'm not saying that the NFL is rigged whatsoever. I'm saying,
but you're saying the NFL is rigged.
This is suspicious at the very least.
615 is disappointed in you.
Tell me why 615.
So the smell isn't always fish. Fletch, come on, man. You know the listeners are gonna go for the low hanging fruit. So you're putting out conspiracy theories. Fletch is gonna start a podcast like everyone on YouTube that's got like, let me tell you why you don't know what's real.
We can honestly talk about this though, because -3.5. See, if you were making the book, Sammy, what would you put the Jags as against the Raiders?
I think
coming into this week,
I'd say 5.5.
That seems insane to me. I feel like that's a touchdown spread.
Okay, but you also know that the last Jags game played before this, they got destroyed by the Rams.
It's the Raiders, Sammy. The Raiders.
I know, but they're at home. You get 3 points for the home team. All right, you need to stop.
You're telling me there's nothing suspicious about this whatsoever. $1 million bet comes in on the Las Vegas Raiders.
If there was something happening, then the Raiders would have completed the 2-point conversion and pulled the money line upset.
Just saying. Something smells a little fishy to me.
Are you? Is this game rigged tonight too?
Maybe. We'll see. Cowboys lose this one potentially.
484 Fletch ranting about being a DJ and gambler. Say less.
You're welcome. 484. Thank you for listening. Appreciate you being here. If you missed long shots, by the way, we'll reset what long shots is coming up next in the show and make some picks for tonight's game.
Unfortunately, Austin Reeves is now ruled out for the game. So one of our
I thought Luka got ruled out and all of a sudden long
the Lakers
shots was
are
looking
kind of
great.
just punting on the game.
858. Purdy was a go all week. What happened to that? Yeah. Well, MetLife. I think the Niners rightfully so got scared of the fact that he'd be playing with turf toe on the worst turf in the NFL. And guess what? Another torn ACL off of MetLife Stadium.
What do you think this game's close tonight?
I do actually. Jacoby Brissett's not bad. And I've watched him play. Well, he's been in the last 2 weeks for the Cardinals with Kyler dealing with what Kyler's dealing with. So I think Jacoby Brissett keeps it close, especially against a terrible Dallas Cowboys defense. I don't like the Cardinals to win. What's the spread?
3.5 for Dallas at home.
It feels like the right number, man. It feels like a field goal type of game, and I do think the Cowboys come through with the win.
See, you talk about a spread that's surprising. I'm surprised that the Cowboys at home are only getting 3.5 points. Like Dallas is a much better team. Now, I get in Arizona's case that their record could be 5-2. Like if 3 plays, they lost 3 consecutive weeks on walk-off field goals, which is a crazy stat that even happened. No Kyler Murray tonight. Kyler Murray, like, listen, he's injured. It sucks because this would be a pretty good matchup if Kyler Murray was playing.
There's been some really good new video games coming out. Kyler's been attending to. So
a new Call of Duty in a couple weeks. He's going to be stoked. But if you look at the Cardinals, you're like at what point does Kyler Murray, are they in the quarterback market? We talk about Miami.
That's what the stories are today out of Arizona. The Kyler Murray and the Cardinals could be heading for an offseason divorce. Maybe they keep him out. There's some injury guarantee that they would have to pay if they kept him in. So yeah, I think there's absolutely a chance Arizona is fully in the quarterback market, not just hypothetically.
Right. You're looking at like guys we thought were franchise quarterbacks. Tua Tagovailoa for the Miami Dolphins. Now Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray will be a guy though that will get a shot somewhere else. Like if I'm Pittsburgh and I get Kyler Murray on an affordable deal in a year.
What if Kyler Murray gets traded tomorrow?
Be interesting. It's now that's like you're full on going on the tank job, and I don't know if they're going to have the number 1 overall pick because the roster is decent. Like it's not, the Cardinals are not a horrible team. They actually have some talent. Will Johnson, the corner out of Michigan, fell to the second round because of a knee injury. He's been really good for them. The defense has been coming along. Pretty nice secondary with him and Budda Baker, but I'm curious. It's only a 3.5 point spread. Like I think the Cowboys roll tonight. Now, Vegas is telling a different story. I think the Cowboys are being a little bit underappreciated after the Dallas game when that game kind of got out of hand. Now, the defense is terrible and can let anyone back in this game, but I would not be surprised if the Cowboys win by 2 scores.
Mike Florio on Pro Football Talk said this about Kyler Murray. He said, I poked around to see if Kyler Murray could be traded at this trade deadline. He said, it's unlikely because of all the moving parts that would have to go with it. But that being said, an offseason trade is very realistic, if not likely. The current regime in Arizona did not draft Murray. The current regime did not sign him to a second contract. The current regime has yet to be able to pick its own quarterback. And with the current regime starting at 3 years of not making it to the postseason, one way to successfully finagle a 4th season would be lobby ownership for the ability to draft, sign, or trade for a new starting quarterback. Do you think,
though, the fact that the quarterbacks in college football that was supposed to be this 6-7 first-round quarterbacks, the fact that they, like, a lot of these guys have not lived up to that standing is now all these teams are kind of SOL, like Miami and Arizona.
I love that you're going there, but I don't think that's the case. I don't think you are SOL anymore because we've seen the success of Daniel Jones in the second stop. We've seen the success of Baker Mayfield in a new location. Sam Darnold, same thing. Like, look around the league. How many at one time first-round draft picks who didn't work out with their first team are now in the MVP race? I count 3 of them.
Like, okay, so let's go think about it. Do you think Tua gets another shot to be a starter somewhere?
Probably, yes.
Kyler?
Yes.
Justin Fields?
No. He just got his second shot, and it didn't go well.
Yeah, I think Fields is done. Who are we missing here? What team is it?
Well, potential Trevor Lawrence.
So you start thinking like Trevor Lawrence.
Imagine Trevor Lawrence on a different team. Maybe it works. Maybe everything we thought we knew about Trevor Lawrence and being the next savior of the NFL was true. It just, he was in the wrong place.
Trevor Lawrence is 100%, even if, let's say, he flames out, 100% going to keep getting opportunities, being the number 1 overall pick. And he's had moments in the NFL. You do wonder if, like, I think you're going to see with Tua and Kyler and these guys after this year, you're going to see we're drafting a kid and they're the starter unless things don't go well.
By the way, how about guys who are sitting behind someone right now? How about a Gardner Minshew who's just kind of rotting away in Kansas City, but has shown at times he can be a starter in this league? You remember that running out with the Colts? It was Minshew mania. He was crazy. Like, there are probably some backup quarterbacks right now who, given another shot on a different team, that's why I think teams like the Cardinals,
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones, absolutely.
Are you surprised your Niners aren't looking to deal him in the next 24
No,
hours.
they need him, dude. I'm surprised that Brock Purdy, we haven't got the announcement that he's having surgery. Like, I think that's the way this is going. I think Brock Purdy re-injured himself when they brought him back too early against the Jags. And then now he's dealing with a more severe toe strain with turf toe. And he's probably going to have the same surgery Joe Burrow just had. Or he's back next week. I don't know.
The Kyle, obviously you're very tapped in the Niners, but the Kyle Shanahan press conference I heard was very interesting. What he said last week about kind of insinuating, he almost seemed to get a little annoyed. Somehow Brock Purdy, he's like, yeah, I mean, he's got to let us know how he feels. Like almost like they want him to be back and he doesn't feel good enough. And maybe that's to your point. Maybe he re-injured it and he's saying, I don't want to play.
So here, what led up to that Jacksonville game where Brock ended up playing was the fact that Mac Jones was too hurt to play also. So they were in a situation where it was either going to be Brock Purdy or their third string backup, who I believe his last name is Martinez. That was the situation they were going
into. And you guys
into.
were what, 3-1 at the time, 4-1 at the time?
Exactly,
like
and undefeated in conference. So Brock Purdy stepped up and said, I'm going to play. I think he got hurt worse in that game. And now he should be slow playing himself to come back. Otherwise, what if he goes out there and injures it even worse? You're not talking about just the rest of this season. You're talking about potentially some of next season also. So I saw that same clip. I think Shanahan's more annoyed with the situation than he is with the person, but I do think that that's part of it too.
Because like Mac Jones, now the problem with keeping Mac Jones is that
dude's a baller.
Well, he's a beast, and this guy he won a title at Alabama, didn't work out with New England, but to be fair to him, Belichick, like outside of developing Brady, what quarterbacks has he developed? They had no receivers. The problem for the Niners is that the better Mac Jones plays and the longer that he's out, the more the chatter is, why is he not the starter?
They're not trading Mac Jones. They can't afford to, but he will get an opportunity next year. He's made himself a lot of money this year. All right, let's give away some Aztecs basketball tickets. They're playing tomorrow night at Viejas Arena, 7:00 tip off. I'll be on pregame coverage, I believe, with Sammy Long starting at 6 o'clock
your
tomorrow.
boys are doing the home game.
How about that? So let's give away some tickets to that game right now. 877-767-4760 is the number to call. Caller number
13.
Lucky number 13. You are going to see some Aztecs hoops tomorrow night at Viejas Arena. This is San Diego Sports 760. We're going to make some picks on the other side. That's next.
What the hell was that?
Live on the iHeartRadio app. Thank you to everybody who joined us today. It was a fun show. It was a fast show, man. We had a lot to react to, a lot to look forward to in the world of sports. If you're just joining us for the first time, my name is Ben Fletcher. That's Sammy Long. We have a lot of fun doing this show. Hopefully you have a lot of fun listening to this show. We sure do appreciate every one of you who did. Now, we do have a giveaway going all week long this week. Your chance to win SDFC tickets for this Sunday's match, win or go home match for SDFC at Snapdragon Stadium against the Portland Timbers. We're doing it on the talkback mic all week long. Both our show and John and Jim, we each have one pair of tickets to give away. So the way we're doing it is you open up the free iHeartRadio app, you leave us a talkback, you say your name and your neighborhood. While you're listening to San Diego Sports 760, there's a microphone button you can hit and leave us up to 30 seconds. All we need is your name and your neighborhood. So Sammy would say, I'm Sammy from Rancho Bernardo.
RB.
I would say, I'm Fletch from La Mesa. And then once we have all that information, goes into a hopper. We're going to pick a winner on Friday. So leave as many as you want. We're going to pick 2 winners on Friday, one on our show, one on John and Jim. And you're going to win a pair of tickets to go see SDFC's postseason match.
Hell yeah.
We just gave away our second pair of tickets for Aztecs Long Beach tomorrow night at Viejas Arena. Who was that?
Handyman Matt.
Handyman Matt, working on cabinets, winning some Aztecs tickets. Love to hear it. We have a very busy week on 760 here. Tonight, 4:45, Cardinals, Cowboys in Dallas at the Star, Monday Night Football on our station. Tomorrow night, Aztecs Hoops starting at 6 o'clock, tip-off at 7. Wednesday, SDFC Midweek Live. Thursday, Raiders, Broncos, Thursday Night Football. Friday, Sean Lewis Show. Man, we're busy. And then a trio of NFL games on Sunday, a trio of college football games, including Aztecs at Hawaii on Saturday, starting at 6 o'clock for pregame coverage. That game doesn't start till 8. We got busy boys, Sammy.
Yeah, we're excited.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
Got the Aztecs game tomorrow night. Very excited for that. The going to be on the pregame show with Fletch, so very excited for all that.
It's going to be fun, man.
Yeah.
Getting you ready for this Aztecs football or basketball season. All right. Do you have your long shots pulled up for me, Sammy?
Austin Reeves is not playing, so that got voided. Nikola Jokic, more than 22.5. I actually put this in wrong. Rebounds and assists, more than 22.5. Trey McBride, more than 68.5 receiving yards. Javonte Williams, I think running the clock out, more than 66.5 rush yards.
I love that. We got a line and over under on tonight's game.
3.5 point favorites for Dallas. And let me pull the over under up right now.
I got you covered.
53.5. High number, very high number for Vegas.
All right. Jacoby Brissett starting for the Cardinals. Let's see here. Why don't we go? I'm going Cowboys cover. Game stays under.
I'm going 27-16 Cowboys.
Fast math. That's not it. That's not 53.5.
Yeah, it's under. I think this is a very high number. And I know the Dallas defense is terrible, but that's a high number for an NFL game.
Cowboys cover under. We're in agreement. I don't like it when we're in agreement. That usually means we're wrong.
Well, maybe that means the Cowboys lose.
All right, it's San Diego Sports 760. Thank you for being with us today. John and Jim are coming up next. I'm sure they have plenty of reaction to the guys opting out of their Padres contracts. By the way, Wandy Peralta did opt in, so that's good.
Well, that makes a lot of sense because I don't think his open market value was going to be insane.
Come on home, Wandy. Thanks for being here, man. New City Connect hats. Come on, things are looking up for the Pods. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Fletch and Sammy out.